But without Wendell here, we don't have his Zocatala to compare. But Austin was kind enough to bring in from his collection his Zocatala, and we end up with the same hand, with the same easy handle, the black wool, the dark wool wefts, very much a similar sort of thing. Zocatala is not a majority Azeri province. It's only about 28%. About 28% Azeri. In the Tsarist period, it had a higher population of Armenians up until about 100 years ago. You know, there was a whole series of wars, and every time the Russians won, Armenians moved north, Turks pulled back, Persians pulled back, and it ended up costing them quite a bit, not only in land, but it cost them quite a bit financially as the settlements were made and debts were paid for these wars. So there's a huge movement back and forth. But I believe that the Zocatalas harken back to the oldest style. When we look at Zocatalas as a whole, we see traces of the very old style before the market influences came in and forced them to be a little bit finer, a little bit harder, a little bit this, a little bit that. You know, there's always pressure. You know, there's, we saw that same thing with Turkmen rugs. Turkmen rugs got finer all through the commercial period. Now, Turkmen aficionados don't like that they got finer. But when the merchants were coming into town and they're looking at this rug and this rug and this rug, they tended, I believe, to buy the finer rug. That changes the very fabric of the Turkmen rug, because now there's pressure that if my wife weaves a rug and her sister weaves another rug and her sister's rug is a little bit finer and her sister gets a better price for it in the marketplace when her husband sells, it was usually the husbands who sold it, then there's a very good chance the next time my wife goes to weave, her rug becomes a little bit finer to try and duplicate the success. And we see, in Turkmen rugs, we see a big change from the Russian era. I believe that it's harder to tell this exactly in Caucasian rugs, but I believe we have the same sort of market forces at work. So that rugs that sell well, there's pressure to copy them and to make more of them. And rugs that seem almost too casual suffer. And so that's why we see things in Zocatalas that we don't see other places. Shall we just go through the stack now?